Alright, this is a giant's hand. It's 3 feet across. And if you look at it, you can see the palm and that texture. And let's see if I can show that texture a little better. You see this right here? As it runs down here, and this reddish stuff, it almost looks like it's plastered on there, but that is the palm of a giant's hand. And I have some of the other parts of it right here that were found along with it, and there's more of it. It's just, you know, it's out in the woods. Anyway, let me show you here. Now, and most of that the palm has it's not doing all that well either, because it's been outside forever. Now, these have all been CAT scanned and DNA tested. That one was DNA tested, 100% human. You can see that right there, that black silhouette, is the silhouette of a phalanges, a fingertip of a human. And you see the vein and the artery blows out. You see the holes there and the hole up there? All those 3 holes are from where it supplies blood, and on this side is from the vein, and you can see they're plugged up. You see those holes? They're actually plugged up there and down there. And that's because veins clog off. And that's why you can still see the vein in there, because it's plugged up. The other ones blow out because there's no restrictions inside of arteries. So that's a fingertip that was found with it. This one is also a fingertip. Now this is a left thumb. Hold on, let me get a little light here. Whoops. Back out of here. Now this is a left thumb. Alright, the same as this right here. If you look down, you'll see that same architecture. Now, I broke off the piece right here. That is what the tendon adheres to. It's a different material. It may be hard to see this. And that's where it ends up here. They're like in little chunks. Each piece is a chunk. That's the fingertip. And this is the pads of your thumb underneath, exactly the same as you have on your own thumb. You go under there, there's a pad, and there's a pad up here and so forth. And the texture and everything is here. Now, so that's another fingertip. Now, this is a knuckle. This is at a knuckle. And that right there is the ligament running down. And you see that right there? That's the fabric of the muscle on the bone. And this was a bone ball. And this side has eroded off completely. And the bone's fractured, of course, and been replaced by mud. In this case, this part was in a different, was sort of sticking out of the ground apparently and got eroded. I can't be honest, I didn't pick it up out of the ground like that. We had an addition put on, and when they did it, they uncovered all this stuff. Now, so that's what it is. Now I'm going to show you stuff outside, and then we'll go from there. Alright, these are all toes. And these toes are facing, the tip of the toe is facing this way on all 3 of them. Now, if you see this one here, that's the callus side. And we're going to go back inside and see these later, but that's the callus side. And that's all the nasty looking skin on the callus side. And that's the bottom, and what it looks like on the bottom, the fabric. Again, we're going to see these inside, or maybe you've seen them already. I don't know how I'm going to patch this together. Oh. And that's the side that has the skin that is the wrinkly side on the inside of your big toe. And that actually is the toenail right there. And that black stuff, and there's always a red spot right there where they invest and feed the toenail and fingernails. They all have them. And that's a toenail. Now, this one is more deteriorated. Alright? That actually is the callus. Believe it or not, that's the callus. And something about blood. Now this side here is the arterial side and blew out the red blood. You see that? And you see this? I don't know if you can see this well, but there's lichen here and moss. And that is the signature of arterial blood. It goes for the moss and lichen. They eat it right up. Now this side you see is the black blood, the vein blood, and there's nothing grows on that because it's a different, it's FeO3, FeO2. But there's the vein, and there's actually the vein and artery are easily seen here, and I'll show them inside, but that's the vein right there, and that's where the artery was. And you're made like a layer cake. You see these things here? And you see how this is the bottom, and you see, I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but they're all little slices, and you're made in a layer cake. And I'm going to take this a little later, and I'm going to pop that puppy into pieces. And it almost weighs nothing. That thing is very light. That is heavy as it can be. Now, this one here was in an area that transitioned into crystal. And it's the same thing. This is a toenail too. I mean a toe as well. And that's where the toenail would have been. And it was eaten away. And that's the bottom where it has the really gnarly looking stuff on the bottom, which is a completely different material than the top. And they will turn into silicon, raw silicon. I have that, and I'll show you that. And this, you see, the same thing will happen with this. This will transition down, and all rocks transition until they become crystal. That's just what happens. It's called carboxylation of metal complexes, and they you know, I believe that's the terms. It's all about bonding and what they call a nucleophilic invasion and replacement, and all kinds of different little chemical things are going on. But the bottom line is that anything that was organic in here eventually will come out of here, and you will end up with stuff that's like this. This is like glass. And I mean literally this, and there's all kinds of minerals and metals and mica, and all of that is from life. All of that is from life. And when they say garniferous, garniferous means bloody. It means bodily fluids. That's what garniferous means. Garnets are blood, and they come in every single color because blood, as it leaks out of you, comes out real red, then it gets paler, and then it turns what's all kinds of different colors. And that's just a fact. So that's what we got. Those are toes, and we're going to go in and see them, and we have other things to show you. It's very, very interesting stuff. It's time to take a look at it very seriously.